The WNBA is a very funny league. I saw this a few hours ago about Sophie Cunningham getting fined $500 from the WNBA for this post on TikTok. First of all, why is the WNBA acting like the FBI on social media with the players post? Because they want to state their opinions. Now, I'm not going to play the audio for copyright purposes, but Sophie here was talking about the refs, and she said the words slow, stupid, useless, and the league caught on to this, decided to send her a fine. And to me, the players should all come out and state their thoughts on the refs. We've already heard from the Fisa Collier trying to have a conversation from the commissioner about the issue she has with how games are officiated, and it gets completely ignored. I think Angel Reese should make some type of post. I think Breanna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu. I think Asia Wilson should definitely say something. Of course, Caitlin Clark. And these players should come out and talk about what's happening here because it's just embarrassing stuff what you see from these refs night in and night out. Like we already talked about the play with Caitlin Clark and this ref here, and she was just annoyed with how the referee handled things. And then it was a peaceful conversation that escalated. And I love the way Caitlin Clark told the ref, "I'm going to call the league on you." That was so funny. But I just don't understand. She's just lip syncing. If you're offended, okay, maybe not say the word stupid. But at the same time, the refs have been really bad in the WNBA, and it needs to change. Things need to get better for this product because if it looks like prison bar out there, where at one moment someone's getting slammed to the ground and there's no repercussions for that, you're just enabling that behavior. And we're seeing it not just with Fever games, we're seeing it with other games around the league. And if you're not going to step in as a ref and take control of the situation, these behaviors will continue. So imagine in the playoffs where the games are heightened, the consequences are even bigger because if you lose, you're out of the playoffs. If you win, you advance. And there's an obvious blatant call you're not making, or you're not suspending them or kicking them out of a game, then fans are going to get upset. And that's where I think the refs and the league need to start taking some evaluation of what's going on, like take a look at themselves in the mirror and start doing better. Maybe find better refs and maybe got to pay more. Oh, well, you need better quality right now in your product because the players are fed up. And I hope we see more of this from other players because, Sophie Cunningham can only do so much, but it's just embarrassing that the WNBA is deciding to fine them for something I just think is so dumb to me that they're acting like they're the FBI out here because a player wants to state how she feels about the referees right now. And I think if like an Asia Wilson came out and did this and other players who have more pull in the WNBA, that would help. And I think they need to make sure to go into the negotiation table and talk about the refs, how things need to get better and that we need to make improvements because fans keep talking about it over and over again. You're seeing different clips out there like Neke Gumike. There's a clip that surfaced where she's standing over a player after a play is dead, taunting her. And the refs aren't taking full control of that situation. So we're seeing these examples constantly over and over again. More people are paying attention to what's happening in this league, and you're going to get complaints. You're going to get feedback from the players because they want the product to improve. And if the league's going to shun them out and then you're just fining them for giving their opinions, how do you move forward in the CBA room? This is why I think the players in the league feel like a big joke, in my opinion. And if the WNBA ever wants to get better, maybe take your product serious. Because if you don't, people are just going to get impatient and move on and watch something else because they have no incentive to really tune in if there's other things they can entertain themselves with. Even like the ratings of the WNBA All-Star game you saw on ESPN, they said, it got 2.19 million views. And they didn't want to talk about last year how it was 3.44 million views. There was a massive decline or 36% decline this year for the All-Star game, and Caitlin Clark didn't play. They don't want to talk about it. They showed 2023. I'm like, why would you do that for an All-Star game? So again, this league needs to get better. They need to make improvements for the referees because if they don't, this is going to be worse as this continues. And there's going to be a situation where a critical play doesn't get called and fans are going to be irate. Players are going to be irate. And now you have an even bigger problem on your hands. You're not protecting your superstar players when other players are just doing whatever they want, smacking them to the ground, pulling their hair, and you're not taking control. You don't see that with the NBA and their superstar players. They protect them. If that happens with other guys where they're playing dirty or doing something, they're going to suspend them or fine them. They're going to get involved immediately after the game. They're not going to mess around. We need to see the same energy from the WNBA when it comes to questionable calls. You can't just sit around and say, oh, yeah, do whatever you want to our star players because that hurts your product. You saw the ratings for the All-Star game. It's been down since last year. And if you continue to ignore these things, don't expect fans to stick around and maybe even players to stick around because they don't want to get roughed up. They don't want to constantly, worry about, is this player going to be dirty? Are the refs going to actually take control? And will the league even listen? And if they don't fix this very soon, I don't know how it's going to work out for the WNBA. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I'd love to hear your thoughts about Sophie Cunningham's TikTok post. Are you surprised by how the WNBA handled it? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.